Hello and welcome to Just Hoops. With the World Cup starting in just about a month, it's time to talk about Team USA in this event. They went young, and we can see that with the backcourt of Austin Reaves, Jalen Brunson, Tyrese Halliburton, and Anthony Edwards. This video, we're going to dive into each of their games and see what they can bring to the Team USA in this year's World Cup, starting with Tyrese Halliburton. To start, let's look at his numbers from last season in Indy. 20.7 points per game, 10.4 assists per game, 1.6 steals, highly efficient shooting and playmaking abilities, and he's going to bring that to Team USA. So now let's look at the film and see what he's bringing to the Philippines. First things first with Tyrese Halliburton, he amplifies his teammates with his playmaking ability. The way that in every situation on the floor, he's able to find his teammates, put the ball on time and on target, and allow them to go make a play. In all these clips, you can see he does a great job at drawing defense with incredible patience, and then he makes the defense make the decisions for him. Oh, the gap is floating toward me, I'm going to pass it to the next guy. Oh, the big man in drop coverage committed to me, I'm going to throw the lob. Just simple reads like that add up over time, and then alongside of that, he knows how to draw that next defender to get his teammate open. He does this consistently, and it allows his teammates to thrive and be some of the best role players in the NBA. And I think now on a World Cup team loaded with young talent in the NBA, he's going to just be able to go out there, make the easy play time and time again, and help everyone else get better. You can just see, though, the way he passes the ball, the way he's able to read the defense and just get the ball to where it has to be for a play to be made is incredible, and a reason why he was an assist leader in this year's NBA season. Tyrese is also a highly efficient and elite scorer. You can see last season he did a great job at when the defense didn't commit, and when he had the opportunity to go get a bucket, he is more than willing and able to do so. In terms of numbers, he shot 64.6% at the rim, 40.7% off the dribble, and just in general, the way that he was able to find cracks and openings, be very crafty with the ball in his hands, and also uses athleticism and elite size at his position to go make plays happen, regardless if it's in the paint, in the second level, or from beyond the arc. The craftiness and savviness he has with the ball in his hands allowed him to create space with changing his pace, changing his direction, finishing on either side of the rim, using both hands. Just an elite finisher, and he knew how to get to the areas of the floor to go make plays happen. Next, though, when it comes to the second level, he had a very nice float game. The way that he was running, he had that push shot, just the balance and ability to get the ball up and over the defense was very good, and the patience and poise he had when he got to the second level was great. And lastly, to talk about his second level scoring, it's the pull-up jumper. He had a very efficient pull-up, the way he was able to get to his spots, carve out space, be poised and patient like we talked about with the floater, but just knowing, oh, I have enough space to get my feet down, rise up, and knock down these shots was one of the best in the league. But lastly, it comes down to the three ball. The way he was able to create it off the bounce, but even more shooting it off the catch. 38.1% catch and shoot three-point shooter, just a variety of being able to play with the ball in his hands, play off of his teammates. And when it comes to the three ball, he also had elite range. Yes, the shot is not the most orthodox shot in the world, but he was highly efficient. He knew how to get to his spots. He knew how to go make plays happen. And then if he was able to score, he knew how to capitalize in these opportunities. In the World Cup, Tyrese is going to have a chance to show he's one of the best and complete offensive players in the world. And lastly, to talk about the defensive end of the floor, he is highly active. He forced nearly 2 turnovers per game with his steals, the way he flies around. He knows where to position himself, both if he's on the ball or on the help side, just flies around consistently making plays happen. That activity and energy that he plays with offensively translates to the defensive end of the floor, and it comes with the playmaking ability. His size, length, and athleticism also make him a versatile guy at this end of the floor, allowing him to match up with a variety of guys. But at the end of the day, he has the savviness and understanding of basketball to go make the right play happen at this end. Next, let's talk about Austin Reaves from the Los Angeles Lakers and his potential role with Team USA. Last year in the playoffs was his coming out party. Nearly 17 points per game, 4.4 rebounds, 4.6 assists, shot 46 from the field, 44 from 3, and nearly 90 from the line. Let's dive into the film and see what he offers to Team USA. First things first with Austin Reaves is his ability to space the floor. He shot 40.3% in catch and shoot opportunities, and in the playoffs last year, he shot over 44% from beyond the arc. That is elite shooting, and you can see in these clips he was able to do it off of movement, playing off of action, lifting, drifting, filling behind, doing all the basic things that make someone in the NBA or in basketball in general an elite shooter, just putting themselves in the right spots on the floor to go make plays happen and shoot the ball at a high clip. He also has range, shooting well beyond the NBA line. He has the ability to just read where the ball is going, find the open space and cracks on the fence, and go make those shots. It's easy to put yourself in the right position, but the way he's able to shoot it at such a high level makes him one of the most elite off-ball players in the NBA. Next, we got to talk about his play in the pick and roll, which was a major part of his playoff success. Last season in general, he averaged 1.024 point per possession in the pick and roll plus passes on a 46.6% shooting. So in general, he did a great job at scoring in the second level off of ball screen actions, just getting into space, being poised and patient, getting to a floater, getting to a pull-up jumper, and just making the right under control decision with the ball in his hands. And then outside of that, he did a tremendous job at passing out of the pick and roll, whether it was to the roll man, to the next man, just having the vision and control of his body in the ball to go find the open space, get the ball to a teammate that had an advantage, whether it's inside the action or outside the action, and just making the right and smart play in these situations could be big time for Team USA as a secondary ball handler and just a guy that they can trust on the second side of the floor to go make a play out of a ball screen and force coverages by the defense, force rotations, and know that he's going to go out there and make a smart decision with the ball. And lastly, we're going to go to the defensive end and talk about his toughness and grit he plays with as a defender. Yes, by no stretch of the imagination is Austin Reaves an elite defensive player, but he's a highly competitive winner at this end of the floor. He is more than willing to get in a stance, try to make a play happen, stay in front as much as he possibly can, and that is something you need. You just need a guy that's willing to go out there and compete, whether he has an advantage or not. He's going to sit in his stance, he's going to slide, he's going to wall up, he has active hands, active feet. He's going to do whatever he possibly can to make it difficult for an offensive player to go make a play happen, and that is something you need when you're going to try to win something as a team, whether it's with the Lakers or Team USA. I think he's going to go out, compete defensively, and just do his job at the highest level possible that he can, and that is all you expect from a guy and all you want from a player on a team, and I think that would be a major attribute that can help Team USA win a gold medal in the World Cup. Next, let's talk about Jalen Brunson of the New York Knicks and how he can fit and help Team USA. Last season, he was terrific in New York, 24 points per game, 6.2 assists, almost a steal, shot really efficient from both three and the field, and he was just an all-around presence for the Knicks. So let's dive into the film and see what he's bringing to the Philippines. First, his three-level scoring ability. At the rim, he shot 56.4%, and you can see in these clips he is such a physical beast when going toward the cup. His shoulders, the way he's able to bump defensive players, the way he's able to land on two and finish under control, just the all-around package when it comes to being a small guard in basketball, he's able to do it at the highest levels. The control, the poise, the patience, the ability to finish with either hand, the ability to land on two and be under control, just all the above. He does everything at such a high level in terms of the basics and fundamentals, and then on top of all that, he is highly physical when it comes to his driving ability. When he has the ball in his hands, he is looking for contact. He also has the quickness and craftiness to change directions and use different paces and things of that nature to just get an advantage, get by a defensive player, and go make a play happen at the rim. Next, and probably most importantly, he's one of the most elite second-level scorers in the NBA with a great float game and a great pull-up jumper game. The same rules apply. He's highly physical with the ball in his hands. He's crafty with his paces and directional changes to get advantages. But then when it comes to his floater, he shot 52.9%, and off the dribble jumpers shot 44.1%. The way he's able to get to his spots, be poised and under control, understand the angles and advantages, being able to play off two, using fakes to just create space, using his shoulders to create space, being able to gather his feet and be on balance for either his floater or his pull-up jumper is just elite and made him one of the hardest guards in the NBA. Next, let's talk about his ability to play make and make his teammates better. In pick and rolls plus passes, he averaged 1.075 point per possession on 47.4% field goal percentage and 58% true shooting, and ISOs plus passes is 1.066 point per possession on 46.2% field goal percentage and 55.5% true shooting. The way he's able to play out of the pick and roll, play out of ISOs, play out of the post, in transition, find his teammates ahead. He was a great passer, and the same things that made him an elite finisher and elite second level scorer are what make him such a good passer. He's able to get downhill, be under control, poised, see the floor, and then find the advantages based on where the defense is rotating. Whether it's a help side rotation, whether it's a ball screen coverage, he understands where the advantages are, where the openings are, and he delivers the ball on time and on target consistently. And lastly, let's talk about his defensive IQ. Yes, another guy that's not one of the most elite defenders in basketball, but he understands where to position himself. He has the strength to guard both inside and out at his position from perimeter players aspect, and he just makes the hard plays all the time. The way he rotates across the court, the way he contests shots, the way he's able to stay low in a good closeout and prevent driving angles. Just making the right play, doing what is necessary to win a game and be in the right positions to make plays happen is smart, and it shows his knack and IQ for the game of basketball and how he's able to make plays at both ends of the floor. Yes, he's not going to go out and guard the best perimeter player on the other team, but he can go out there, be a plus defender in terms of rotations, covering space, and making multiple efforts. And last but not least, let's talk about Anthony Edwards of the Minnesota Timberwolves. Diving into his numbers from last season, 24.6 points per game, 5.8 rebounds, 4.4 assists, 1.6 steals. He averaged over 30 points per game on more efficient shooting in the playoffs. Just one of the most talented guards in the NBA, and let's see what he's bringing to the World Cup. First, he is a scoring machine. At the rim, he shot 59.5%, off dribble jumpers 34.5%, and catch and shoot threes 41.1%. Just a highly efficient guy, but to dive into the finishing side of things first, he is an elite athlete. He's strong, he's physical, he's able to jump very high, finish above the rim, finish through contact, finish with either hand. Yes, in a lot of these clips you see he has the tendency of getting to his right hand, but he is more than capable of using his left. He's able to move off the ball, find openings, find cracks as a slasher, and go make plays happen that way at the rim. Just an all-around elite guy when he's able to get a full head of steam downhill, play in transition also. Just an elite finisher, an elite talent when it comes to getting to the cup. Next, let's talk about the spacing though. He shot over 40% in catch and shoot opportunities last year. He is highly underrated in this area of his game, but the way he's able to play off the ball, whether it's slashing or spacing, he has the ability to play in multiple situations and multiple roles, and I think that this will be a huge part of his impact for Team USA, being able to be a guy that's cutting and moving off the ball, and also a guy that's able to space the floor, put himself in positions to knock down shots at a very high clip. And in terms of his scoring ability, he has elite shot creation ability. In ISOs plus passes, he averaged 0.894 point per possession on 39.3% field goal percentage and 48.2 true shooting. Yes, those numbers do not reflect his ability, in my opinion. I think that the way he's able to handle the ball, be an explosive athlete, being able to create angles with his speed, athleticism, and strength is what allows him to be so good in this area of the floor at creating his own shot, whether it's in the second level, at the third level, getting to the rim. Just the ability to make plays with the ball in his hands is one of the best in the NBA, and he has the potential to be one of the best guards in the NBA, in my opinion. Just being able to create shots, score at a very high clip, and just be an all-around offensive weapon that's able to pass and also score at some of the highest levels that we've seen. And to wrap things up, we got to talk about his ability to impact the defensive end of the floor. In ISO situations, he held opponents to 45.5% field goal percentage, and he held pick and roll ball handlers to 43.8% field goal percentage. Just an elite individual defender when he is locked in. When he locked in last year, he had the ability to sit down in a stance, be active, be physical, force offensive players to make mistakes, miss shots, just to affect them and impact the ball at a very high level. And then when it comes to off the ball, he averaged over a steal per game, rotating, flying around. We'll talk about that later. But in terms of the individual defense, he has the ability to take on any matchup 1 through 4, sit in his stance, be strong, be physical, slide, run to stay in front to beat a guy to a spot, contest without fouling. And this clip here against Brandon Ingram puts it all together. He understands he's on an island, he sits in his stance, has active hands, and really impacts the ball with his athleticism and just overall ability. And then to talk more about the off-ball stuff and just the activity he brings to the defensive end of the floor, you can see in these clips he's flying around, he's active off the ball, he's active in the gaps, he's active in the passing lanes, he's active as a help side guy. Just bringing energy and activity off the ball allowed him to just impact the game in a variety of ways at this end of the floor. Yes, in terms of his NBA projection, he needs to get better at this and more consistent at this, but averaging over a steal and a half per game last year just shows he's in the right direction and has the ability to be one of the best defenders and two-way players in the league. Team USA went young this summer and is preparing for the future of Team USA, and the backcourt that they put together between Anthony Edwards, Jalen Brunson, Tyrese Halliburton, and Austin Reaves can really set the tone and help this team be successful in the Philippines. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, learned something about their backcourt and Team USA in whole. For more content like this, please like, subscribe, and share. And we'll catch you in the next one.